Chicka chicka pow pow. Chicka chicka pow pow.
Oh man, this is too saucy. Oh, I'm doing a little dance. I like that. I like that you introed me like that. It felt nice.
Yeah, man, you had like a WWE walk-in right there.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Yeah. We start an episode off like that.
Oh my god! Speaking of the WWE.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hey.
Oh, what's up?
Welcome to the attic, Christian.
Chin Dong.
How you doing? Chin Dong. Chin Dong.
I'm doing good, man.
And everybody, welcome to the attic. Hope you're doing good. What did Chin Dong mean again? Live 1,000 lives or something like that?
Something like that.
Something
smart like that. A lot better than cheers.
Cheer. Oh, sir. Cheers.
Can we have a cheers?
Oh, yes. How you doing?
I don't know, man. I think the Italians had it right. It was like wealth or health for 100 years.
Something like that.
Chin Dong.
Yeah.
So much better.
What? Well, you're going to talk about the WWE? Or?
Oh, yeah. Have you seen that viral video of that huge fight that happened in, like, was it Alabama? Have you seen all the memes that have come from that?
What happened in Alabama?
Oh man, I think it was Alabama. It was this huge brawl, like over like this guy that wanted to park his boat where it shouldn't have been parked, and then this huge brawl like broke out, and
was it like older people or?
I didn't watch the full fight. Like, it's kind of like with me, I haven't seen all the like horror movies, but I've watched the parodies. I watched like Scary Movie, whatever, 1 through, what are they, like on 10 now? Scary Movie X. I've seen all the like parodies of this.
Right.
There's this guy from Chicago. His name is Kush Poppy. I know.
I love it.
Yeah. And he had a collaboration with a bunch of other like Instagrammers, whatever, and they remade this. And in this specific like parody of it, there's a portion of it where a guy comes, because in the actual brawl there was a guy with a chair and he was smacking people with a chair.
This happened recently?
Yeah, like a week ago. And in this parody, it like busts out with like Stone Cold Steve Austin's theme song. And he's going everywhere, hitting him with a steel chair, like breaking up the fight, man. If you haven't watched it, like, yeah, I think it's like a political fight, or like they've turned it political, like this side against that side. But the parodies that have come from it have been awesome. So, yeah, you should.
I did not know anything about this.
No?
You have to show it to me after.
I gotta catch you up to
after
speed.
All this. Yeah, I'm in the dark. You've been showing me all the memes lately.
Man,
the ham check. What was
the ham check, the hand check, all kinds of checks. But nah, man, I spent too much time on the internet, man.
Yeah, I think everyone's suffering from that now. I saw this video today. It was sad and disturbing. It was I don't remember which Asian country, but it was a video set in this. That was the setting, and there are all these little kids, like, it was just like 3-4-year-olds, and they were so programmed to like have a device in their hands and scrolling. Yes. There was different videos. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
Videos of these kids sleeping, and they're sitting there, like they're sleeping, like on their sides, and their hands are out like this. Nothing's in their hands, and so with one hand it looks like they're holding a device. Mm-hmm. The other hand, as they're sleeping, is scrolling like this. And it wasn't just like one kid. And he did it. It was a bunch of different kids, different angles and shots, and they're all just like swiping through their phones. And I'm like, what is going on?
Crazy.
That's sad.
Like I mean, we all have. We have friends with kids already, and we've had younger siblings, so we've seen like us as kids grow up, and then our siblings grow up. But like this generation is on a whole different level. Like the babies coming up right now, like by the age of 2 or 3, they already have some type of like touchscreen device in their hands, and that's kind of like
again, whose
what they
fault
use.
Is that? That's our fault. Our generation, the parents of these kids. We are to blame.
Now, is there something wrong with it, you think?
Putting a device in a kid's hand?
Yeah, like do you think that there's something wrong with that? Like, you know,
I don't think there's something wrong with exposing your kid to anything, but just like everything in life, moderation. So I think that the problem is, and I'm not trying to blanket statement this, but it's what I've observed.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of parents, it's tiring being a parent, and you have 1,000 things going on. Sometimes you just need your kid to just back off of you for a little while or be occupied. Instead of parenting your child and like teaching them more constructive ways to spend their time, they're just putting a device in their hands and saying, all right, occupy yourself for 2 hours. Mommy and daddy or whomever need to do X, Y, and Z. And I think that's the issue. And then it just becomes a habit because it's like, oh, well, I can get my kid to shut up, by just putting this in their hand. Instead of saying, hey, learn a skill, educate your mind, go outside, do this and that. And I think that now with this being the excuse of occupy yourself, this new generation, they don't know anything outside of that. And, there's pros and cons to these devices, obviously, right? It's a great communication tool.
Yeah.
But it's also like, I think it's making it more difficult for kids to just be with themselves, be locked in thought, to not always feel the need to be connected to everything all at once, and also I think it's really hindering social skills too, because it's so much easier to not have to interact with somebody and just order food and have it delivered to me, or it's so much easier to not talk to somebody and maybe have an uncomfortable moment with a stranger you don't know, and you have to have those unpleasantries. I can just type and hide behind an avatar and an icon, and I can say whatever I want. And I think I'm so we are seeing it in small doses. I'm really curious what the next generation is gonna look like. And I last thing, I wonder if we're gonna go so far one way. At some point, it's going to be rebellious and cool to do the opposite. And I wonder if there's going to be that generation that says, we totally hate the technology and like how this is the norm. We want to go back to like, I watched those videos and movies from the 1970s and 80s. I watched
ChrisCrossed media from 2009.
Yeah, I want to be like those guys. But you know what I mean? I wonder if there's a pendulum and it's just going to go back to that, because I think it is in some ways romanticized, like the 1980s and 90s, and like we were in the cusp of being part of that very analog world, and everything was more manual, and now we evolved into the cell phone, digital, social media, AI era, and it's I hate it.
No, yeah, I feel you, but like my thing
and
is,
I love
like,
it.
My thing is this, like, obviously, we don't have kids yet, but, and who knows, maybe if I had a kid right now, I would do the same thing, It's hard to say because, I mean, being a parent is hard from what I see. And everyone says being a parent is hard.
Yeah, and I'm in no way judging a parent putting an iPad in the kid's hand. No means.
But, like, my question is this, it's like, you kind of wonder, because maybe we'd have to ask our parents, because I don't remember, being 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't remember that.
I do.
But, I don't remember what I ate yesterday. Who am I kidding? But I'd like to ask my mom, like, what did you do to me when I was younger to keep me occupied? Because look, a kid right now is no different than us being kids back then, in the sense that, from the age of, let's say, even 4, because now you can put them into, like, preschool, around that age even. But, like, let's say from, like, 1 to 4, there is no peer pressure as opposed to when you get into school where you, like, let's say you try to raise a kid, like, without a cell phone, with all this and all that. They don't know any better, right? It's not until you go into school where you're in the presence of other people and then you start getting bullied, like, oh, my God, like, this person doesn't have a cell phone yet? Like, so, like, a baby doesn't know any better. So I'm kind of curious, like, if I were to have a kid now, I feel like I would want to be the parent to where, like, I don't want them to have a screen in their face at all times.
I agree.
So I'm kind of wondering, like, what would I do? Like, what would I do to keep them busy? Like, I wouldn't know. So I would like to ask my mom, like, and my dad, like, what did you guys do to, like, if I was crying, if I want to do this, like, what would you do? And, like, I kind of want to do that in a way, because there's a certain point where, like, you have those first 5 years to be like, you don't have to be accustoming them to what their, future custom is going to be. You still have, like, that little window where you can still kind of raise them in the quote-unquote traditional way.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
I mean...
So, like, what the hell did they do to us? Like, what did they do to us?
I think our parents...
give us a pacifier and shut the hell up and just...
My mom was very attentive to me when I was a baby. And I remember, as a kid, being encouraged to go outside or play. I had so many, like, little toys I'd play with as a kid, blocks and things like that. I remember just being so absorbed in those things. I also think our generation had, like, we were like the VHS, Nick Jr., Disney Channel, like we were that generation. So I think, like, instead of having an iPad in our hands, we were having a different type of screen that's more stationary in front of us. And I think that was kind of like our escape, and that was like, hey, put the TV on and let the kid kind of like sit in front of it for a while. And these new Disney movies, for the first time, you can own them at home, and they're putting, put Beauty and the Beast on, put Sword in the Stone on, things
Lion
like
King
that.
2, Simba's Pride, El Rey León in Spanish, Bro, I was I was showing you a little video of my little, what do you say,
your niece? That's your niece, yeah.
I always get confused. Even in Spanish, sometimes I get confused. Like, there's words like con cuña. Like, what the hell is that? Like, I don't even know. So, like, sometimes I forget. Is it niece, nephew, grandson? I don't even know. But, yeah, I was showing you a video of my niece.
Yeah.
And, that's my sister's firstborn, and we didn't talk, we mentioned that we were on quote-unquote vacation, but this one story I didn't mention. Like, when I have kids, or if I ever have kids, like, I want them to speak Spanish. Like, I want them to be able to speak both languages. Like, in a way, it was a privilege to me that my parents didn't know English when I was born. So Spanish is technically my first language. And that's all I spoke until about maybe 7th grade. Or from the 7th grade, 7 years old. Can you imagine?
Wow.
And, no, I was like about 7, and like when we started reading and all that. But I've never wanted to like lose Spanish because it's been so beneficial for me. And and it's not a knock at my sister, because I don't know, I'm not in that situation. But I would love for my niece and my nephew to grow up in that environment. And, like, they're kind of, like, getting exposed to it because of my mom. She still takes care of them. But something in me is, like, because I see it in my sister who is here. Like, their Spanish is not as good as mine. Like, I think out of all my siblings, even my cousins, I think that my Spanish is probably the best out of all of them. And I don't want it to be lost because I know how beneficial it could be to them. So, like, something that I was doing when I was back home was I was on Disney Plus, and for the longest time I could not figure out how to change the audio because it was on a Roku TV, and Roku has their own software.
Yeah.
And I could not figure it out. And I finally put Lion King in Spanish.
Rey León.
El Rey León. Like, dude, that name is just, I don't know.
Pretty nice.
Lion King sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But El Rey León. Like,
wow.
It's just like, it's an own little thing. But I remember as a kid, like, the whole title was in Spanish from the VHS.
Yeah.
And, the Disney Plus version just still says The Lion King, but then has that little subtitle, El Rey León. I wish there was a way or something. Maybe there is.
It changes all the poster arts and artwork and stuff.
If there's an actual version where everything is in Spanish, like, it's not just audio. I wonder if that version of that movie is out there, because that was the one movie I remember watching all the time.
I think you have to change your region. Maybe, because I know, like, for instance, Netflix has, like, different, like, you have different movie selections if you're in Canada or Australia or England. Right. So it's, like, different regions. So I'm assuming Disney Plus is exactly the same. And I wonder if, like, you change your,
like, you can
what's it called? The
The IP address?
IP address, but like, isn't there?
Hmm.
What do you? Oh my god.
Yeah, your region, right?
Well, you can change your region, but what's a thing that you can change your IP address? What's that thing called?
Oh, you're talking about a VPN.
VPN. If you change your VPN, yeah, you do all that.
Like if you go through a VPN, you change your
change your location and you change your region. I'm pretty sure you can download the like
curious.
Mexico version of Disney Plus.
I wonder if they even have that though. Like I wonder if the service,
sure
if it's like across the board, has the same feed for everybody, but it just changes the audio for everything, or if they actually have
like the text,
the title cards of that specific language thing.
One of my favorite things is like movie posters, but in different regions and countries, because they always have like international posters, and sometimes international because I love posters, like cover arts for films, especially when they're hand drawn, are like my favorite thing. And there's a lot of movies that I really love, like Indiana Jones. I know I'm always talking about it, but they have a lot of incredible regional posters that we never see here in the States. And like a lot of movie posters, like I have a t-shirt of the Japanese version of the Jurassic Park poster.
Dude, like, I love the Japanese versions of
Star Wars. Yes.
Dude,
Star Wars.
So
Star Wars. Imagine the Jurassic Park logo, but with like Japanese text. It is so cool. It's so clean.
About Japanese text.
Right? I don't know what it is. It
just makes things look so hard, like pocket monsters, bro.
Oh, dude,
remember when you remember as a kid, and you saw Japanese Pokemon cards for the first time? With that colorful backdrop,
oh man!
You just wanted all your cards.
Yeah,
to
the
be
backing was
like,
different than the Japanese ones.
Why the hell did they change that, bro?
I don't know, but
did they not think we liked colors? Like
that was. I think it just identified that this was different.
Dude,
like,
and the Japanese cards, they're like white in the front. Like some of them are like white covered. Have you seen those?
No.
Yeah, bro. Some Pokemon cards are like super sick.
Oh, dude, get this. Okay, so I was at Costco today.
Right. While you're checking your phone. Speaking about
our little kids, I took a picture. So, I bought those 3 boxes over there.
Yes,
from Costco. Costco not long ago, and I want to do some sort of like video or unboxing. Guys, listening at home, let me know if that's something that you're interested in, because in all honesty, Christian and I are very big Pokemon fans. I mean, we grew up in that generation where Pokemania was literally our lives for several years, and to this day I still love that franchise. And on ChrisCross Media, some of our earliest videos were card unboxings or unpackings,
like pack unwraps.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, are you interested if we did like a ChrisCross Media live, and then we like cut them down and made little shorts or videos or something of us unboxing those? But here's the thing:
There's some new box that came out that's looks super sick. I've seen them already.
Oh, have you?
I haven't seen the cards themselves, but the art of the box looks sick. I think there's a Charizard.
Oh, you're talking about? Yes, I think I know what you're talking about. Yes.
I don't know the name of it.
He's like crystal looking, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is that all about?
Yeah.
But
because I follow a bunch of people still, a bunch of people that like used to follow us, like they became these like card traders, card collectors, and I see a bunch of their stuff on Instagram all the time.
But okay,
all right, yeah, show me this.
$35. All right, look at this.
What is this?
Look at this pack. It's
Costco.
Costco. It's Halloween themed. Okay.
I've seen these packs on TikTok.
And you see, I think I have to go back tomorrow and pick some up. It's called Trick or Trade. Halloween. It has Pikachu and it has Gengar on it. So they're mini packs, which I don't know how many cards are in a mini pack. Let's just say 5. 5. Okay. 120 packs.
Damn.
I think that this needs to be a video we do.
Yeah, I mean, Halloween is right around the corner.
Right around the corner. We can do a trick or trade. You know, it'd be cool if we unbox it.
Out for Halloween.
Halloween. Yeah, exactly. Or we can do a giveaway here on ChrisCross Media.
We used to give, like, dude, we were ahead of the game. These people, like, in the past, like, during the pandemic, they were doing those, they were calling them breaks. So people would pay for a pack, and they want you to unbox it for them, unwrap it for them live. Mm-hmm. And, like, okay, we're going to mail you these cards. We were doing that back then.
Yeah.
We were opening people's packs.
That's right.
And they wanted it signed, remember?
Yeah, we were attempting on ChrisCross Media the largest card pack opening of all time on YouTube. And we had people, it was so cool.
Like, we were cool with Primetime, right?
Primetime Pokemon, yeah, we're cool with him. Yeah.
Like, he's still doing his thing, dude. Shout out to Primetime, bro. He's
one of those old, we had a conversation several episodes ago of somebody that we want to hit 1 million subscribers. That's one guy. I really want to see him succeed. Because he's OG. Yeah, he was, I mean...
He got married. His girl, is super cool with what he was doing.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Fuck, man.
Primetime Pokemon is legit. I really, really love his content. There's just so many people, that I watched from the very, very get-go. People that I watched when I discovered YouTube that are still doing exactly what they did from day one. And I have so much respect for those kinds of people. Excuse me. One guy that I really, really love. Have you heard of the LA Beast?
Yes, because of you. Because you had that one, was it like a Pepsi or a Coke or something?
Yeah. Crystal Pepsi.
Crystal one. Yeah.
He's the main reason Crystal Pepsi came back.
Yeah. I only know about him because of you.
I love, his name is, I think his name is Kevin. But they always call him the LA Beast. And his YouTube channel is actually called 62able or Skippy 62able. It's weird.
YouTube.
It's one of those original YouTube names. Have no branding connection whatsoever.
Yeah, they were just like gamer tags back then.
It was, but so he's the LA Beast, and he does these insane health harming food challenges and really crazy things, and he's broken bones on his channel. He's been hospitalized in his channel.
Damn.
He's really putting his life on the line for humor. But one thing that people always say is you watch a video that he does today, it feels exactly the way you watched it in 2012 or 2011. There's no difference. He is still doing exactly what he did day one, and I have so much respect for that.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just like the bones he's breaking on his video.
Exactly. Yeah, dude, he tore his pinky toe on his foot, just ripped right off.
Those are the worst, dude. Have you ever had a foot injury?
No.
No. I haven't either. But
like how you said it like you're about to teach me from personal experience.
Well, I mean, I have technically. I really, really messed up my ankle one year, and it took a whole year to heal. All right, and the reason is, my ankle, because I was a server at the time, and
a surfer or a server?
Server. Yeah, I ain't never seen no fat man surf before.
Have you seen Rocket Power?
I have seen Rocket Power. Tito? And I wanted to imitate that dude, but...
Hello, cousin.
I couldn't do it. I never seen a fat Mexican surf before. But dude, when I busted my ankle, I remember when it happened, I did not want to get up. I was at the park. I felt it snap. I felt the vibration all over my body.
Nope.
And I was right under the hoop. And I remember my cousin was trying to get me up, and I'm like, no, bro, just call the because I've broken so many bones in my life. I had already known, yo, it's over with. Don't try to get me up. Just call the ambulance. Yeah. Take me to the hospital. I've done this, been there, done that. Let's do it. Finally, I got up. I tied my shoe, and I ended up playing ball for the rest of the game. And it didn't hit me till took my shoes off, but I had to walk on it. My means of life at the time was walking around, being on my feet, moving around. And at the restaurant I worked at, there was the back side had a ramp to go to the second level. The front side had a couple steps. So I was maybe 6 months in. I was not limping anymore, but there was still some pain. And there was one time where I misstepped one of the steps, and I tweaked it again. And it was I made some crazy noise. Yeah, just like that.
You sounded like Volkswagen. oh no.
And like, dude, I was out for another 6 months, dude.
Oh my god.
And like it wasn't a pain. It was just like this soreness. It was like something that just, it was an inconvenience that it was there. But like, I have a cousin right now that has he has flat feet. And he's already had a bunch of injuries to his foot.
Oh no!
And he plays baseball. Yeah, he plays baseball just like me. And he just had a freak accident about a month or two ago, where like he was stealing second base. He tried to get out of the harm's way, and on his jump from the ground, like he's running, and he tried to like stop and jump, and from the impact of him jumping, he like broke bones inside his foot, like. You know, and like he says it's the most painful thing he's ever done, and the reason why I say that is like those are the worst injuries because you need to walk.
Right.
That is the part of your body that like supports all of you. So it's not an arm that you can put on a little sling, you know. It ain't your neck that you can keep in a brace. Like you're constantly on your feet, and it's like one of the things that's like the hardest to heal, you know.
You know what I want to say? It's so interesting that I've known you for as long as I have.
Yes.
You know, we met in 2005. I'm sure there's some people that are watching or listening to this podcast right now that were born after 2005.
Yeah, for sure.
And I talk to you every single day. And I almost pretty consistently have talked to you almost every single day since 2005. There's still things I'm learning about you, and vice versa. and I really think this podcast.
What did you just learn about?
Wow, the whole story about your ankle and all the pain you went through. You could have texted me, bro. You sound like you were in a lot of pain. You're in a dark place.
Oh my god, bro, it was the worst. And mind you, I'm driving a stick shift car where your left foot is under constant tension from the clutch.
Nah, not good.
It is horrible, man.
I don't want it.
It is horrible, but I stuck it through. That just goes to show how much I love my car.
Now, do you love yourself, though?
Apparently not.
Because I want to ask you, we need a little Christian update. I want to see how much you love yourself and your passions. How are we on your guitar journey? Last week, you promised... No. Don't tell me look. You promised everybody listening that you would have at least watched a tutorial video on YouTube. Did you get that far? Did you at least search a video?
Yeah, I mean, I did. Now,
since last time we talked, you did?
Yeah, because one of my favorite artists right now, he's actually, he has a concert tomorrow in LA. He's a Mexican artist, goes by the name of Junior H. He's, to me, he's the GOAT of what his genre is right now. He doesn't get much recognition, but
What's
he's
the genre
amazing.
He's in?
They're technically called corridos tumbados. It's essentially like a mix of old school like gangster ballads of like, you know, the 80s in the Mexican community. It's like it's just ballads talking about, you know, the drug trade and how people get murdered and stuff like that. It's crazy. It's just about that life, you know, and now they kind of put a new twist to it. Where it's like the new generation has taken over and added a little bit of young flair to it. And they don't necessarily talk about that. They do, but now his thing is like, his tour is called like the Sad Boys Tour. So, you know, he's kind of put a little bit more emotion to it. And he's one of the pioneers of this genre. And the reason I mention him is he didn't play guitar or anything. He learned everything on YouTube, and he's openly said that.
It's like Post Malone. Do you know that Post Malone like essentially learned how to play guitar from Guitar Hero? Dude, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's cool too. You know, and that's what I played, and I thought that's how I could learn to play guitar.
It feels like you're playing guitar, but it's nothing like it.
I tried to play guitar. I just think my fingers are too small. Like, I have big hands, but it's like this part of it is big.
Let me see your hand. Put your hand up against mine. Oh, my hands.
Your hands are bigger.
Oh, you're right.
But you're also like 4 inches taller than me. No. But like, I feel like some people just have longer finger. Like their finger would start here, But my fat hand, like, it doesn't start till here. Like, I have, like, little...
There are people I've noticed, and I always wonder, like, if it's something that develops after years of playing, but have you ever looked at, like, a guitarist's fingers?
Yeah, they're skinny
like,
and long.
Skinny and long, but they're like built different at the tip. It's really interesting, and I always wonder if that's, like, I don't want to say a deformity, but something that kind of, like, happens over time.
Yeah, it's like basketball feet. Have you seen basketball feet?
Oh, dude, yeah.
And then there's ballet feet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
scary.
like, it's just from, like, repetition, doing it over. It's kind of like your body adapts to what you're trying to do.
Will you ever see a foot that's never been in, like, that doesn't normally wear shoes? Like the toes are, like
spread out.
Spread out. And I'm like, I'm the type of person that I don't like being barefoot. You'll never catch me in sandals.
I love being barefoot.
You'll never. I like when I'm in my bed, sure, but when I'm out in public, I don't want people. I don't. No? I feel like I'm naked. I don't like it. Don't like it. So like you'll never.
You mentioned last week. Like, this is the first time I've seen your toes.
Yeah, true, but I'm saying this right now.
I've never seen your toes.
You'll never catch me in sandals.
Hey man, let me see your toes, man. I got these cheeseburgers, man.
What? Again with the obscure
I'll suck your toes, man. There's always got to be an obscure movie reference that takes you on the what's it called?
What movies are you watching?
Hold on. What is that thing that when you go on like
a tangent, a rant?
When you're watching videos and you go into like, is it a wormhole or what's it
Oh,
called?
rabbit hole.
Rabbit hole. Yeah. Every time I come at you with this, you're gonna end up going into like a rabbit hole of the movies.
Yes. Well, my toes will never be in suckable range.
Are your feet like I've seen it with my feet because
here we go.
I don't have like a crazy deformity, but it is formed in a way of a shoe in a way.
Yeah.
You know, it's like my feet are, you know, it's like it just molded to be in a shoe. And
do you have flat feet?
No, I don't. You know, my dad says he does. I don't. But no, like I kind of want to start. I like wearing sandals. You know, just because it lets your feet breathe and, you know, get tan a little bit. You know, just
also like if you walk outside, like apparently it connects you to the earth in a more intimate way, and like you get like not radiation, but like the absorption of energy differently.
Crazy, like. I mean, hey, you can believe what you want to believe, but I don't know about all that. But man, there's this Halo player I follow, and it's crazy because one of his teammates has reached out to me that they may or may not want to represent Modified like for the upcoming Halo tournament, right? So it'd be funny if he ends up being part of Modified and I'm here talking about him, but. Love to him. I love the guy, respect the guy. He's around my age. OG in the game. But he, like, I want to say in the past 5 years at least, he's kind of gone on this, like, holistic transformation of himself. Like, started doing yoga, you know, started reading all these books and just posting all this, like, crazy stuff. Not crazy, but it's crazy to me. Like, it's alien to me, right? And one of the things he posted like a couple weeks ago was like, all right, bro, like it's too much. He like retweeted or something about like, don't let the doctors like take out your wisdom teeth. They're called wisdom teeth for a reason. They're like, if you pull out your wisdom teeth, like they're supposed to hurt. It's supposed to hurt because as a human, we're supposed to learn how to deal with pain. And, like, eventually they're gonna, like, heal and blah, blah, blah. He's like, they're called wisdom teeth because it teaches you this lesson of pain and perseverance and all this. Is that really Don't let them take it out from you.
You know what? My headcanon for that was wisdom equals, like, knowledge. What happens when you get knowledge? Like, you're getting older. You're growing, right? Mm. You grow, you get more knowledge. So I always took it as, and maybe this is not the origin of that word, or the naming of the wisdom tooth. But I always took it, as you get older, you get wisdom. These are the teeth you get taken out as you get older. That was my take.
My take on it was like they're ancient teeth. And, again, that's what he believes. He believes that, like, no, he's like, I regret taking out my wisdom teeth. I should have never let them take them away from me.
Why is that the hill he's choosing to plant his flag on? Like, what? That's such like a random argument.
And it was like...
That's so weird.
And like, some of the comments were like, yo, my guy... like, I mess with everything that you say, some of the stuff is crazy, and but this is a little bit too much for me. And I was like, yeah, bro, like, he mentioned the go barefoot and touch the earth and all that. Like, this was like, yo, come on, bro. Like, and everyone was like, look, man, nah, they're like, those are teeth that, like, ancient humans needed, but, like, we have no purpose for them anymore, and that's why they hurt, because, like, if they're causing you pain, you should take them out, Did you have yours taken out? From what I know, I guess I still have mine, but, like, they're not...
You never surgically had them taken out?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
No. My sister did. My brother did.
Does it hurt you at all? Are you in pain?
No. I've had my canines removed.
Your canines are gone?
I think. Or maybe I don't know. Are these the canines right here?
The pointy ones, like the fangs.
I've had like...
Or no. Are those... Yeah, those are the canines.
I've had 4 teeth removed. 8 teeth removed. When
What?
I got my braces. Yeah. Before I got my braces, I had 4 teeth removed. When I went in for my consultation, I had to get another 4 removed. I had teeth behind my teeth.
So were they...
On both sides.
So were they adult teeth, or were they, like, still...
Yeah. I had...
Wow.
Yeah, I have like, I think 8 teeth missing. Yeah. And,
you would never know.
That's probably why my wisdom teeth don't hurt, because
you don't have all that compounded,
Yeah, they shifted my jaw, over. So, yeah, but I've never had that. But that goes again to this like holistic, all this like, yo, come on. There's just certain things that are like, bro, like you guys are just making shit up to make shit up, bro. At that point, like, come on, bro. You gotta have like. There's got to be a line to some of this stuff.
Wisdom teeth. Like, what's next? Like, I wish I was never potty trained.
Like, why are we watching TV? Our eyes were not meant for this. Like, you gotta watch. I don't know, dude. It's like, dude.
I mean, that you can argue.
We
were born naked. Don't wear shirts.
Yeah,
don't wear.
Like,
it's like
this clothes is, it's preventing us from being one with the earth. Like, dude, at some point you gotta be like, yo, I'm sounding a little crazy right now.
You gotta get your ass on the grass. You gotta go bare.
The only ass to the grass you gotta be doing is when you're squatting. That's the only ass to grass I want to see. Get the weight up. I can't even do that. I tried to squat in the sauna yesterday.
Why were you squatting? You're one of those guys like doing squats and stretching.
Like I haven't been going to the gym, man, this past like month and a half, and I went yesterday.
Why is that?
Why I stopped?
Yeah.
A lot of stuff, man. I
got you. All right.
No. I mean, it's just like I sometimes let the stresses of life defeat me. And sometimes it's a lot easier for me to just go to other vices and then kind of forget like what your purpose is. But I looked at myself in the mirror and I'm like, man, like I gotta jump back on this horse and go. But something that I've always struggled with has been like squatting or things like that. And as we're getting older, I kind of just want to stretch. And while I was in the sun, I was stretching, and one of the stretches was I wanted to wall sit. But I took it to another level. I just went all the way down just to get a good stretch in my hamstrings. But that's like a very good stretch to do. It's a very good movement to do. I just wish I could do that with some like a barbell and like some weight on it.
Right.
That would be the goal. But that's the only ass to grass I want to see.
Okay. Couple things.
Mm-hmm.
I would be upset with myself if I didn't at least mention the UFO situation that's going on, because I think maybe it was the last episode, maybe the episode before that, we started talking about this, and I did not touch the subject since. I wanted to bring it up, but as you and I very much know, Christian, we can go on several tangents, even just saying hello to each other. It was funny. I think you walked through the door today. And, like, we started talking about one thing and then went off to, like, 5 other different directions. That's our friendship.
That's what we do.
We get so excited to see each other. We're like, all right, I want to tell you everything all at once. But yeah, this UFO stuff, the hearings, all this stuff that's coming out. What is I have my opinions, and right off the bat, like I believe that there's something beyond us. I think there's something out there, and I've always been so interested in UFOs, UAPs, USOs, whatever you want to call them, whether they're alien or not, or supernatural or interdimensional. Excuse me. I love it all. I think it's so fascinating and interesting, and I don't think I've ever gotten your take on any of this. I'm curious, like, what you think about all of it.
Man, you see, I think a lot of people, if they were to hear me talk, they would kind of label me as like a borderline, like conspiracy believer, conspiracy theorist type. So I'm the kind of guy where, like, if you go to a store and they're giving you away something for free, or hell, we'll even go this far. If the government is giving something to you free, I'm the kind of guy where I'm like, why are you giving this to me for free?
Like there's an agenda or something.
Yeah, like I'm just like, anytime I've got anything for free, I'm just kind of like, I don't know.
You're right.
So to me, now I'm not saying that this is what it is, but in a way, it's like free knowledge. It's like, it's what you want to hear. So I'm always kind of like weary. Like, why all of a sudden, like out of the blue, like it's not like we found a flying saucer and then it like sparked interest into aliens again. And then we're like, we got to figure out if this is real or not. And then they had this huge trial on it. It was like out of the blue, they're just like, oh yeah, UFOs are real, aliens are real, I would testify against the oath, and like blah, blah, blah. And I didn't really like look into it, so, you know, I don't really want to speak about this topic like I know everything about it, but from what I've like heard through the grapevine is that there was this hearing, there was a gentleman that, you know, on oath swore to the whatever, and they said that, you know, we've known about UFOs and aliens and all this is real and yada yada yada. To me, I'm like, all right, well, you can say that, but I'm not gonna believe it until like I see what it is. Like, do you have it here? Like, can I go see it? And until then, I don't believe it.
I'm gonna say something. One of my favorite lines from the Tim Allen Santa Claus movie. Have you seen that film?
No.
All right, little kid. He's talking to his like stepdad, and he goes, "Have you ever seen $1 million? Have you?
No, I haven't.
But you know it exists, right?
Yes.
Okay. So why do you need to see?
Because I've seen money before.
But have you seen things that could be perceived as alien? No. I've had a weird sighting, whether it was UFO or not, back in 2011, I want to say, or 2012, it might have been. I was biking with my brother, and one night we saw something we were biking super late at night. This one summer. That summer, 2012, I would bike every single day. We had these trails near our homes, and we would bike for miles and miles, like to our old home, through these parks and woods and conservancies. And in this one stretch of conservancy, there's like no light pollution, nothing. It's just, and there's no back roads. It's just forests. And all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, while we have flashlights taped to our bikes, we see lights over the skyline of what would be like woods. So you see like the tree lines. Mm-hmm. And then we saw a little, you know, I'll use the term tic-tac because it's easy. It's kind of like an identifiable shape. Like a tic-tac shape, but it was like, it like shot up like the way my brother and I described it, it was like a blue lightsaber. Like when the hilts, you know, extends the beam. It was went like that, and it kind of held its space up there for a second, and then shot straight up. To calm ourselves down, I remember we looked at each other. We like stopped. We paused in our tracks. We paused and didn't like say a word. Looked at each other and biked. And granted, it was like the tail end of our trip to go home. Biked as fast as we could back home. And then we were like shooken up. Like we're shook. We're shaking. We got in like my car. And again, it was like super late at night. Drove to Walgreens. I kid you not, bought every variation and style of gummy, bears, worms, sour, this and that you could possibly find. And like maybe it was something that tapped into like our adolescence, but like we just, that entire night we
That's
like
your last meal right there.
kind of sat in silence and just ate these gummies,
yeah.
you know, and you know, just get on a sugar high and just forget about what we saw. And it was funny because I remember at the time I was talking to a friend of mine who's a very prominent YouTuber, and she was like, "You should make a video about this, like just you talking about it." And I recorded like 3 or 4 different versions of it, but I never released it because I was always like apprehensive to like, so like, well, I saw something that is unexplainable, and it was also so far removed from the content that ChrisCrossed. So I was like, whatever, and I ironically scrapped it, but but yeah, that was something that to me was very unexplainable. It was so weird. I mean, and I've you know, I wrote a thesis paper on UFOs and like alien, like why the government would want to hide that. I wrote it several years ago, and ever since then, all the research I had to do to write this paper, I really fell in love with this whole world of, you know, unidentified objects that are either man-made and or, you know, extraterrestrial or interdimensional.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I believe
Right.
that there is life out there. You know, I don't think that we're the only people in here. In my life, I've seen other, like, you know, I was telling you, like, I've seen other dimensions. You know, I've seen different versions of myself, and that's, who's to say that that wasn't real? I don't know. I mean, I experienced that. You know, I've had things in my life where people, like the scientists or the doctors, will tell me it was like sleep paralysis. Like, okay, it was like, that's the scientific medical term you want to put to it, but my brain was still able to produce these things. So what else can the brain produce, you know? And then there's certain things on this planet that make you see certain things, and some things are explainable, some things are not. But it was just weird to me that the government is the one showing you this. You know, that was the thing that, like, if like, in my thing, like, if you're gonna see a UFO, it's not like, I feel like it would come from the common folk. It would come from the people. Someone would be like, "Yo, I saw this. This landed. Like, this is real." It wouldn't be coming from, you know, the governing body of our country.
But is it though? I mean, I think it's a whistleblower, right? So that I believe.
Is it though? Like,
what do you mean?
Like we were talking about, like, we're watching a show, right?
Right.
And it's like, well, there's people out there that are spies. There's people out there that are like CIA. They live a double life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's certain things out there. Like, I don't know. I just don't. I'm just coming. I just don't believe it.
Do you know,
like, from the government?
Do you know
what I'm saying?
Do you know who Kristen Harloff is?
No.
So he's he's did a lot of different things in the movie space and, like, you know, kind of like pop culture realm of YouTube. He's worked with like Collider and stuff like that. Well, anyway, I religiously listen to his podcast. He has a show called The Big Thing. He has another show that's called Sith Council. He does like Star Wars news, movie news, superhero news, general news, but now every Tuesday, he's been covering this UFO UAP stuff. And one thing that he was talking about earlier in the week was that there is like news or some sort of a leak or some I don't know how this information was disseminated or what, but he was talking about that in 2027 there's supposed to be some sort of large extraterrestrial UFO event, right? So he's talking about somebody else who has talked about this, right? Mm-hmm. So somehow we have knowledge that there's going to be some sort of large visitation that like everybody's going to know about. Mm-hmm. Like imagine, have you seen the movie Independence Day?
I have, but I don't remember it.
So like, okay, like there's the imagery of like the UFO over the White House, mm-hmm. right? Like it's going to be something that like, you know, like when you see like UFO videos online, it's like, you know, like one person caught it on like their cell phone. It's grainy. Like mm-hmm. this would be like, there's no way you can cover it up and say it was a weather balloon, like kind of event. Mm-hmm. So the idea is that the government is aware that in 2027, this is going to happen. So like, you remember in 2020, like that was when we first started seeing like some of the footage. And now the government we're having these hearings with the whistleblowers and we're starting to learn a lot more. The idea is that it's possible that they're allowing these things to happen because they know that this is going to happen in 2027 and that they're trying to like warm up the world and like, you know, the world public to like the idea that there could be something beyond us. So like it's like, imagine if all of a sudden tomorrow aliens came, like there'd be hysteria and panic, but you have from now until 2027 to kind of like say, yeah, this is a real thing. It may not end in a war or our destruction, but yeah, there's aliens and we know about it and we're now warning you about it and prepare for any kind of ETs that could come.
Yeah, I could see that. Through. Like, I could see that. Like, definitely you want to... And that was another theory that I heard about where it's a way to calm the people down. And it is true. Like, what I've seen is that, you know, we talked about the Titanic submarine more. We meaning like the
news outlets and stuff.
Yeah, we meaning like everybody like in social media.
Yeah.
We talked more about that than these alien stuff, like
right, which is weird to me that like this should be, with these kind of revelations that we're having, should be some of the most significant news that we've had as
a world,
our history. Right. To know that life may exist outside of our own is insane.
This reminds me of like that channel. Like I remember flipping through channels as a kid. This channel is constantly on, 24/7, or there's a certain cutoff time. But there's that channel where it's like at the White House or wherever, the House or the Senate, but they're all sitting around talking about laws and all this. It's like that information is there. Like if someone actually wants to sit down and watch these hearings and everything, like it's there. It's public knowledge, but no one's really paying attention to it. So it could kind of be like the modern version of that. It's kind of like, hey, we told you, like, there's aliens, but you guys just didn't care.
Yep.
You know, and they kind of, like, wash their hands, like, hey, we told you, like, don't act brand new. We told you. We told you this multiple times. Red rocks, Mars, yay, yay. You know,
I want aliens to be real. I don't want us to have a... like a post-apocalyptic world once they visit. I want there to be some sort of a peace, but I think that like...
I think they're already here.
I think that's possible. But what I'm saying is like, when they do reveal themselves, I think it's going to be something that unifies the entire world together as like, we're experiencing this as a species.
What if it's like future or like past versions human of beings that evolved into this state and they left?
It's possible.
You know what I mean? Like, how crazy would
there is a theory that this is like us from a different dimension.
Like different dimension, different time.
Like
you can think of all the catastrophic events that, supposedly happened on this planet. Like this planet's been around for billions or millions of years. And it's like, we've been on this earth, our current like history of this earth as we know it, as written history, probably dates back to where we have a lot of knowledge about it, I'd say is like ancient Egyptian time.
Yeah.
You know, even if you want to go before that, but it's like, let's say 3,000 years worth of history, right?
Right.
3,000 is nothing to a million.
It's minuscule. Yeah.
You put 10, let's say 10 million years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me, or like past the dinosaurs, even before the dinosaurs, what if there was already a life? You know, and they found a way to leave, and like they still check up on us.
Or again, like something that I feel like the film Prometheus doesn't get enough credit. But
and that's the movie.
That's a
tied
prequel
to Alien. Right?
Yeah, it's a prequel to Alien, basically. But they show essentially the creation of Earth, and it was like these. They call them the engineers, right? They're like an alien race from another planet, and they were essentially populating these different planets. They'd like drop a liquid into water, and it would seed life, so to speak. It's like, who to say that like our idea of like angels or gods or what have you. What if, and I'm not trying to like shit on any religion,
right?
You know, but like, what if there was like these aliens that went and populated these different worlds, like either planted us, so to speak,
right.
or like we kind of
creator,
evolved from them, you know, and we looked up to these figures as, because we had no explanation of it, so we're like, oh, they're angels, oh, they're this, oh, they're that.
Right. I'm in the camp where, like, I'll believe it. Like, not that I'll believe anything, but, like, I'm open to anything because anything is possible.
I think
who are we to say it's not?
That's the thing. It's like, I think I'm the same way. I don't like to shit on anybody's ideologies or faiths or beliefs. I like to hear it all because I think it's all fascinating and all kind of stems from the same thing, whereas we're so curious about ourselves and our where our origins and, you know, where we are beyond this. It's really interesting to think like where we could have, like where we started, you know.
Like I said, and I think you and I are in the same boat, and I think that's why we get along so well. But like, I'm open to any religion, I'm open to any scientist, I'm open to any illogical explanation about anything on this planet. Because it's interesting to talk about. It's awesome to think about and imagine about. It kind of like, last week we talked about our imagination as kids, like dwindling. I think stuff like this allows us to be imaginative in our adult life.
But that's the thing. It's like, imagine being so close-minded. We're like,
you're just like, no.
Well, like,
that didn't happen.
There are people like that today. Yeah. That we talk about certain things, and they're like, no. But like, okay, go back like 500, 600 years, right? Where everybody believed the Earth was flat, and if you questioned that the Earth wasn't flat, you know, right? They would say, "Oh, you're a witch," or you're X, Y, and Z. But it's like, okay, well, the Earth is not flat; it's a round surface now. It's like that's now we don't.
But there's still people that believe that it's a flat Earth.
Sure, there are people that still believe it.
Let's say it is.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that, like, we persecuted and killed people that believed the Earth was anything but flat.
Right.
But now we have a better understanding of, like, okay, it's this. Or, like, there's other, like, advancements in science and studies of medicine. Whereas in the past, we thought one thing, but now it's drastically different. And here's the thing. 50 years from now, 100 years from now, the things that we believe now could be drastically different.
Right.
And we could be looking back at 2023 and saying, oh my God, can you believe back then they thought that, you know, this would cure that, or that this was happening, or people were dying from that? Can you believe people are dying from cancer?
Well, yeah, that's the thing that, like, you know, you bring up a good point. So let's say, like, in the 80s, I remember, like, hearing something that, like, let's say a pill or like a shot or something, you know, they didn't know the effects it was going to have on certain things. So let's say a pill or something from the 80s that was curing X, right? And, you know, let's say now they've done some research and they're like, hey, you know what? That pill we gave a go, like, back in the whatever, has now led to all this. But we didn't know. Like, it was a side effect that, like, you didn't know.
Right.
So it's like, so when people say like, oh, like right now, something that's crazy to me is that like they're saying that like the radiation from our phones or like Wi-Fi or stuff like that is causing damage to us. And right now, I think that's crazy because it just doesn't seem right. But let's say 50 years from now, they're like, yo, like, because like there was lead poisoning, right? Back then, they didn't know about lead poisoning.
Right.
But, like, now we know, like, yo, lead is bad.
I
so,
don't
like,
know.
let's say, like, 30, 40 years from now, they're like, yo, that Wi-Fi was fucking people up.
Do you ever have the phantom text messages, by the way?
Yeah.
Do you, like,
I do.
everyone listening, do you all have phantom text messages? Because I do all the time.
Yeah.
There's times
my
I'm
muscle
holding
will twitch.
I'm holding my phone in my hand and I feel a text message in my pocket.
Yeah, that shit happens.
It's
like,
weird.
Like, burp, burp, and, like, the same vibration that your phone makes.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Like, right now, I think it's crazy. Right now, you're telling me,
know.
hey, it's the 5G. It's the 5G. Like, you look like the guy from Better Call Saul, you know? Like, fucking tinfoil hat on
Chuck.
and everything. The radiation.
Yep.
Hey, we made fun of that guy, but who? Hey, if in 20 years you're going to find out, like, we had, like, thigh cancer because this freaking Wi-Fi thing
I watched
in
a
our
video
pocket.
recently. It was talking about like the electromagnetic energy that was emanating from the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And like if you have your phone near your head while you sleep, it like interferes with so many different things in your body.
And I do that.
I do that all like every night.
Like I can't sleep without music, sound, or anything. So like sometimes my phone is too loud, so I'll put it under my pillow to like muffle the noise a little bit. You know, like I can turn the volume down, but
really
it's
absorb
different. It hits different. So I don't know. I mean, hey, if the phone ends up killing me, it is what it is. But like today, right now, you tell the majority of the public that Wi-Fi is messing with your brain.
They say you're crazy.
They're gonna be like, "You're fucking full of it."
You know what it is? Is because you can't physically see it. I think it's harder to believe something you can't physically see.
And that's where I'm going full circle with this.
Okay.
At the end of the day, I want to see something and I think that's everybody, right? Like, you want to see it, you want to experience it, and then you'll be like,
okay, that's real.
All right, cool. Like,
so
do I believe in ghosts? Yes. Do I believe in, like spirits, demons, this and that? Yes. Like, why? I've experienced these things. And there's certain people that have experienced these aliens, this interaction with quote unquote God. So, hey, I believe them, but I haven't experienced it yet. So I'd love to. I'd love to watch a freaking alien walk through your door right now. I would lose my shit. I'd go try to grab a knife from your kitchen and I'd try to do something before
he do anything.
He disintegrates me.
Yeah.
But
is this the spiritual kind of supernatural episode of The Attic? It's feeling that way.
I think so.
It's nice. I like it.
I think this is more of like the
conspiracy?
No, it's more of the talking about how entertaining this earth is.
Yeah, it is.
Oh
wow. What a segment. What a segue is what I meant to say. Go ahead.
No, if you guys are not already on Entertainment Earth, before you do, be sure to click the link down below in the description or in the pinned comment.
There you go.
And save yourself 10% from the greatest collectibles, toys, anything that you can possibly imagine.
Preach.
From your inner child is on Entertainment Earth using our code, our affiliate link. Knock yourself out, guys. It is August. Summer is almost over. You're about to be locked in.
If you're not weird?
If you're not in a relationship, it's okay, man. Go treat yourself. Get yourself some toys.
There you go.
And build your man cave, man.
You don't need relationships. You just need toys.
All you need is some Ninja Turtle figures.
Mm-hmm.
Get 7 of them. Actually, get 10 of them because 10 is greater than 7. Use our code, please.
Like a month ago, I told you that I got you something, but I haven't given it to you yet. So there's like this. All I'm gonna say.
What are you gonna say?
Is that it may or may not be something related to the Ninja Turtles.
Cowabunga!
I'm excited.
I'm getting good with these plugins, huh?
That was too smooth. It took me a second to be like, wait a second.
I'm smooth with it, man.
That was nice. I really like that.
My name is Christian, man.
Christian. Oh, no!
This man ain't fan of my rizz.
Donkey Kong. What? I thought you fed him.
I did.
Just give him a smack. Give him a smack.
Hey.
Bad boy.
Hey, calm down.
Get back in your cage.
Calm down. Remember how many Pampers I ran through last week trying to... This man don't take a crap.
I've run out of baby wipes on this guy.
Nah, man.
That cage situation is not going to work anymore.
If anybody needs an alien, it's us to come down and evolve Donkey Kong, man. He's a
little.
He's still stuck in the past. He needs
Age.
to catch up on our level. He needs to learn how to get potty trained.
I think that may have been the quickest podcast yet. There's one thing I've talked about.
We didn't talk about anything that I wanted to talk about.
I have a list of
but
things
I wanted to talk about this. This is one of the things that we didn't know we were going to talk about.
You want to talk about not being able to talk about stuff?
Did you come in today thinking we were going to talk about aliens? I didn't think that.
I didn't think so either. But it was something we mentioned that we would talk about. We did.
Aliens,
bro. No, like, there's fucking aliens out there, dude. I don't know.
There's fucking aliens out there, man. They're doing things, and the people and the pokey and the man and
no. Bill Cosby, no. You stay where the fuck you were. I never heard you do that voice, man. You just manifested.
I'm telling you, man. You'd be surprised.
The aliens bring that out of you.
Stay tuned in to the next episode. You know, we're going to take you guys for a wild ride across all the galaxies. So stick around.
Wow.
Hit that like button, subscribe, share. Listen to us on Spotify.
Speaking of things in the future, I just want to say that I'm working on a very cool video. It's taking a little time because we have crazy lives, and also we're having a lot of fun editing other pieces of content and the show. But Christian and I are going to put together a very, very good video that I'm excited to put out. It's in the works. I kind of want to make the ChrisCross content a little bit more premium.
Yes.
A little less small and digestible, but very, kind of like when we talked about, like, video essays.
Long form video essays.
Yes.
Yes.
And kind of where Scrapped started, I want to bring that back. 16-minute content, something that's has a little bit more beef to it. Yeah. So,
no one wants a sandwich with no protein in it. Don't give me
bread.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to do that, go to Subway. But if you want a real sub, hit up my man Mike. He's at the Jersey Shore. He goes by the place of Jersey Mike's. Get it Mike's way.
Let me ask you something. Is that what's your favorite sandwich shop? Because I would say I love me a Jimmy John's sub, and we do have a ChrisCross Subway sub, which we should definitely do a video on that specific, a very specific ChrisCross media sub at Subway.
They didn't mean to knock Subway. I mean, they got us through some.
Tough times, but it's definitely bottom tier for me. Jimmy John's, but I would say Jersey Mike's is above that. But and I know we have a listener. His name is Vinny.
Yes,
he's talked about this place. The ATTICC sub, which I haven't taken to you yet, but I had.
You were telling me about it, right?
Dude, this place, they have a holiday sub there too. Oh, but also Earl of Sandwich has incredible holiday sub too. You had the other day with your sister when she was in town. But, oh my God, this place, ATTICC, has, first off, so many questions about that place. Because when I walked into the building, they had... They had framed a letter of cease and desist from KFC.
Yes.
You
told me.
Oh, yeah, I did tell you. Because I guess they used the phrase finger licking good.
Yeah.
And they frame it as like the pride piece. And I wonder if like all their,
Should the name of this podcast
all of them have that?
Be finger licking good?
Aliens are finger licking good.
Come sue us, KFC. We're sending BK on your ass. We're having it our way.
We haven't mentioned Burger King in a while.
We just did, baby. They got our back. We have it our way. They have our back.
I will say, okay, before we end this thing off, we had a really weird BK experience the last time I had BK. I think, did you have BK today? By the way, I saw on your Snapchat.
Oh no, that was from that night.
That was okay.
Yeah.
You had the chain on too, and I was looking like, "Where's your chain?" I don't see your chain on you. But
I must have had it on
you
me
had
still,
on
right?
in the yeah. Anyway, we had a really weird BK experience last time. First off, I will say this: the food wasn't on point. I gotta give
my food was on point.
Mine was not.
Oh,
I had a Whopper Junior. I was a little like okay, but I was like I'm at BK. I'm having a good time. I'm not complaining. But there is somebody there that just decided to just shout argument. I still have
the receipt. I gotta leave a review for my man.
With the employees there, and it really bothered both of us because we're all like, "How dare you?"
I was ready to throw hands.
I was too. It was not a pleasant experience to witness.
Yeah, dude. I've worked at BK, so I felt like an employee that day.
Thankfully, we talked to the employees after everyone was. They were chill. But
no one was hurt during the making of this.
How do you? Who are you in life? Where are you in life where you feel that you can just yell at another person?
It's people that know that it's like, the customer's always right, and like
I hate that idea.
Bro, I'm the kind of guy from the Dave Chappelle skit. Like, I want to see your manager. Bitch, I am the manager. You know, like what do you want? At the end of the day, that's the kind of way.
How do you demean somebody else like that? It bothered me so much to see somebody act like that.
I'm just glad that there's still people out in this world that like run businesses, that work at businesses that are like, hey, customer ain't always right. I don't live by those rules. You come here to disrespect me, then I have no reason to treat you one way or another.
Like, yes, a customer, like, you're going there for a service and you're paying for it. Of course, there's some liberty of you should be treated a certain way that you're promised by the person who's selling you that good. But there's a level of respect that needs to go both ways. And once that line is crossed, I don't care who you are, you can't talk to an employee that way. And also vice versa. You can't talk to a customer in a demeaning way.
I'm from the camp where I don't care about like, oh, you're a customer, I'm this, I'm that. Nah. I'm where treat how you want. That's the golden rule. Treat me the way you want to be treated. Treat me with respect. I don't care if I'm the employee or the customer. At the end of the day, it's how it was back in the day. You come in, you treat somebody with respect, you're gonna get respect. You come at me one way, I don't care if I'm an employee, this or that. I'm going to come at you how you came at me. And, like, am I going to get fired? Yeah, but I'm not going to go down like that. Like, that's just me. That's how I am.
Yeah.
I don't think that a lot of people are like that. But maybe we'll save it for next week. But I have some stories.
I have some stories.
When I was an employee, I kept it real. And sometimes keeping it real did go wrong. I did get fired or I did whatever. But, hey, like Tupac says, my mama didn't raise no fool.
Like I said, I've known you for several years, and I'm still learning more things about you. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure there's some things you can learn about me, and I know there's things I want to learn about you guys as well.
Yes.
But with that being said, I think we should wrap this up, right?
Wrap it up. I think
we're pretty good.
Wrap it up like a Whopper.
Woo! Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here, Christian.
Oh, thank you.
This has been fun.
Thank you for having me. Can I get out of the attic now?
No, you have to stay here till next week.
I want to go to the basement.
To hang out with Donkey Kong?
Yeah.
That guy, I mean, he just comes in and just...
Gotta make sure he's alright. Keep him company. He's going crazy.
He needs that interaction.
Alright, my man.
I love you, man.
I'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Take care, guys. See you guys next week.
Donkey Kong says he loves you all too.
Like, subscribe, share, and leave this video 5 stars. Thank you.
What? I love how you say that like you're ordering food from like McDonald's. Oven number 5. Thank you. All right, come to the first window, please.